This is TWiT.
I really want people to chime in here because you could either look at this as MJF's had a beer too many and this is her tip of the week, or is she right and this is crazy? This week, I'm in Notepad typing a story, and I was poised to type a word, and I saw Notepad change the word ahead of what I was going to type.
What?
And so I thought,
it's
okay.
reading your mind?
No. I'm like, is there autocorrect or like autocomplete in Notepad now? And I asked Paul, I'm like, is there autocomplete in Notepad? And he's like, no, there is not. So then So then I just thought, okay, maybe I just imagined
I still haven't
that.
seen this, by the way. I have done everything I can to try to duplicate this. And I can't.
So it happened to me again. I was sitting here typing, and I just watched a word change just while I typed the first two letters, and then it auto-completed it. And so then I got scared because I'm like, did they give me a special version of Notepad? And they're just with me.
Right.
Messing with Mary Jo.
Keystroke Recorder Edition.
No, so I started Googling it, and I'm like, there is no autocomplete in Notepad. And so then I looked, and I said, is there autocomplete in Windows 11? There is. And so I went to settings, and then I typed in the search box in settings autocomplete, and yeah, it's on by default. So ever since I shut it off, this stopped happening.
That's okay. Here's the thing, though. So if you can do this yourself. Go auto. I think it's called autocorrect. Autocorrect misspelled
autocorrect.
Words. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's in time and language, and then typing, and there's an option called
it's in the typing
autocorrect
setting. Yeah.
So it's misspelled words. This is what's weird, because the thing you told me, it contracted a series of words into like an acronym, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you experienced?
I don't want it to do that. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
But mine's on too. This is on by default. I don't know. I have never gotten this to work.
It may have Mary Jo. It might have her own personal.
I don't know, you guys.
Dictionary.
But
might have learned from Mary Jo.
It's super strange, right? Because I have never ever noticed it till this week, and then it happened to me twice in a row. And so I shut it off, like Paul said, settings, then the typing settings, ever since I did that, it stopped doing it. And so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if they're doing A/B experimentation, if it's something with AI. I don't know, but I'm like, okay, I didn't imagine that. It happened twice.
I will, for the 17,000th time, ask you why you don't actually just use a word processor like a normal person. But
because it's overkill for what I do.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, my tip is, if this starts happening to you, run, and also go to settings and typing settings and change it so it's off.
Okay.
I do wonder if it's A/B testing. You know, sometimes they just start doing something like through Microsoft Editor, or like there's some setting they're trying out on some people. I don't know.
Yeah, I was curious if I would get it with the new Notepad, but no.
No. Me neither. No. And then you said to me, did you get the new Notepad early? I'm like, come on, man. Do you know who I am? Of course I didn't.
Do you think there are people who do want this kind of proactive autocorrection?
I don't know.
System level autocorrect is actually not a horrible feature. I guess
don't like autocomplete, though. I don't want
it writing my words because
exactly.
You know how bad autocorrect is. It often is wrong.
Word does this now, and you hit tab to keep it completing. Right. It works like IntelliSense, actually, in Visual Studio.
If you hit tab, that's okay. It sounds like Mary Jo wasn't doing anything. It just said, no, you don't mean that.
Leo might have touched on...
I was typing the word update, I believe, and I put UP, and then it did upside or something. Like I saw it complete.
You know what? Oh, but you keep typing D, and then it says, oh, no. And then, right. So
but I think
keep typing.
Leo might be onto something here. He said... or he suggested, I think you might be seeing this because you use Notepad a lot. That might actually be true. Yeah. I use Notepad a lot too, but not like you do.
It's learning.
Yeah, like
well, for instance, it might know that you often shorten an acronym. And so it might mean, you mean to do it this way. But of course, as a reporter,
you've done it enough in an app that is controlled by Windows 11 or whatever, that it actually started to... You have awoken the AI. What is wrong with that?
That might be what happened. I know.
Sorry, Mary Jo. I can't allow you to type that.
That's right. You're like, Microsoft's wrong again. I'm sorry, Mary Jo.
I'm sorry, Mary Jo.
Right.
You meant to type.
I don't know. It was pretty spooky, you guys. That's all I'm going to say. And I really, when it happened once, I thought, I just imagined that. And then when it happened like a couple hours later again, I'm like, nope, I didn't imagine that. That's happening.
I would love to see this happen in real life.
Tip of the week. Watch out.
I'm not saying you hallucinated it. I'm not saying that.
Well, as an example, as a good reporter, when you first use an acronym, you probably type it out and thereafter use the acronym.
Right.
But it doesn't know, and so it's every time you try to type out the acronym, it says, no.
You must mean.
So
IBM.
wait, Andy T in Discord is saying there's a setting to show text suggestions, but
well, that's what it would be called, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I have that on anywhere.
Well, I think that might also be on the hardware keyboard. Actually, that's not on by default. Interesting.
Here's what he says it looks like. And I think, but you didn't see that. It just typed it.
It just put it there.
It did it in place. He did it. There's an in-place suggestion, which you can override, obviously.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen that either, but now I do see that. Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, a lot of, because you know why? Because so many, the kids today, they think a computer is a phone, and they don't have all the features of a phone in their computer. Well, they're very confused.
But this is a bad. You have to, in order to select one of those words, you have to use the mouse.
Yeah, no, it's not ergonomic.
I'm typing. Why would
that's why it's doing what Mary Jo's one was doing, which was it just does it in place, and you keep typing. Or if you like it, Mary Jo, I bet if you hit tab at that point, just like Intella, whatever, complete IntelliSense.
Well, no, I mean, the text suggestion feature doesn't work with tab. It actually just puts a tab in the text. Oh, I wish it did work that way. No, that's what I mean. You have to select it with the mouse. It's kind of
no, but I'm talking about Mary Jo's, whatever's happened to Mary Jo. There must be some way to signal after you type IN and it says inside. Yes, there must be some way to signal, maybe a right arrow or tab that was correct.
That's right.
I'm used to that. A lot of command line shells do that. Yeah, I really like that. That's
honestly, autocomplete on a Unix shell would be smart. That's not.
Yeah, mine does. Fish does that. Z shell does that. Bash does not. I don't think.
Oh, it's not the 1970s anymore. That's really good.
No, it's really nice. In fact, it autocompletes to the last.
Scary.
Yeah.
I wish I'd like to see this.
I didn't.
I've never seen that text suggestion thing. I don't like that.
You get used to it. If you don't like it, you keep typing. Yeah, and if you do like it, at least in the shell, you hit right arrow. And then
I have it turned on. I have text suggestions on my phone, and I don't like it either. I should shut it off. I don't know why I don't. But
so there's, but again, there's two different ways of doing it. One is that autocorrect, where you would have to use a mouse to indicate that's the word I want.
Yeah,
forget that. That's for a phone where you're already using your fingers. But it does make sense.
But there's a shortcut there too. Don't you hit space or something to get it? There's some. I can't remember.
But how does it? We just pick the most common one.
The one in the middle.
One in the middle. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I think so. You're right. Yeah. I'm very used to doing that in shell, where you type, because there's a lot of long commands you type over and over again. So as soon as I type git space, it goes.
Oh, I love that.
I know what you were thinking. And then you can use the up and down arrow to go through all the git commands you've used. And when you find the one you want, right arrow, and you're done. Saves a lot of typing. Saves a lot of typing.
Everyone's like, did you use the right arrow? I'm like, guys, I never use the arrow key. I don't use tab. I don't use any of these
keys. How do you move back and forth in the text?
I move my mouse and put it somewhere.
Mouse. Oh, no. Mary Jo. Guys. Never take your fingers off the home row.
Everyone has their way. Everyone has their ways.
No, you're right. It's just that your way is wrong.
I can't change the way I work now.
Is to keep the flow. Yeah, well, don't, because it makes you self-conscious.
Yeah.